session, we are going to be talking about angles in polygons. So when it comes to the angles in polygons, we can think of four formulas. So throughout the lesson, I'm going to make you understand how these formulas are formed. The formulas are about the sum of interior and exterior angles and each interior and exterior angles. So let's begin with sum of interior angles first. But before we moving to the sum of interior angles, have a look at these things. Just quick check interior angles and exterior angles. As you can see, the blue one and red one is interior angle, and then blue one is the exterior angle. We all know this clearly, right? So now let's talk about the sum of the interior angles of polygons. So you can see the polygons that now we're finding the sum of interior angles of polygons. I'm going to ask a question. How many triangles in a polygon? So think about it. We all know that the sum of the interior angles of a triangle is 180, right? But we don't know octagon, pentagon, hexagon. So let's try to use what we already know. So let's use a triangle. Then first of all, look at the square. Let's begin with the one vertex. Then we can see that square has got a two triangle. Then I'm going to mark all the interior angles of the triangles. The first triangle and then second triangle. Now what did you notice? We realized that all the interior angles of the two triangle is the interior angles of a square, right? Then we can calculate that sum of the interior angles of a square is 360 because we can see two triangles. Now let's move on to the pentagon. How many triangles can you draw? Begins with the one vertex. Then now we can come up with three triangles, right? Now this time let's mark all the interiors of the triangle. So the first triangle, all of these angles are 180. Second triangle, then third triangle. So you can see that all the interior angles of a three triangle is the sum of the interior angle of a pentagon, right? Now later we can calculate it. Then the sum of the interior of a pentagon is 3 lots of 180, right? Then how about the hexagon? So draw the triangle from the one vertex. Then we can come up with four triangles. We can see four triangles inside the hexagon. Then now we can say 4 lots of 180 because look, I'm going to mark all the interior angles of the triangle. Then all of these interior angles of a triangle form the interior angles of the hexagon, right? Now, what we need to do is we are looking for the formula. So let's see, let's write down what we found. We know that pentagon has got 5-sided shape, right? Then now how many triangles can you see? We drew the 3 triangles inside. Then sum of interior angles. Now we know that 3 lots of 180 because all of the interior angles of a triangle is the sum of the interior angle of pentagon. That's why 3 lots of 180 come up with 540 degree. Hexagon, 6-sided shape. Then now how many triangles in the hexagon? Then we know that 4 triangles inside the hexagon. Then 4 lots of 180. Then that's a 720 degree, right? Then now octagon. So can you find the pattern? So did you notice the pattern? The number of triangles inside the polygon is you're just taking away 2 from the numbers of the side. Then we know that 6 triangles. So 6 lots of 180, it gives you 1080 degree. The decagon 10-sided. Then we know that the decagon has got 8 triangles in there. Then 8 lots of 180. It gives you 1440 degree, right? Then now this is how you calculate the sum of the interior angles of the polygon. Now, let's find our expression, the formula. So, when it comes to the N shape, how many triangles in there? We know the pattern N minus 2 because it's always 2 less than the number of shape, right? The N minus 2 loss of 180. That is the formula for the sum of the interior angle. Now let's move on to the finding the each interior angles of a polygon. Now these are all regular polygons, right? Got equilateral triangle, pentagon, and square, and the regular octagons. These are all the each interior angles of the polygons. So what we can do is, so remember when it comes to each interior angle, it's all about the regular shape. Then what we can do here, we already found the sum of the interior angles of the polygons. Then now, what about the each interior angle of a regular? So regular polygon has got all the equal size of the angles, right? Then if we have a sum of total of the angle, then now how many angles, how many equal angles are there? So pentagon has got 5 equal angles. That's why simply we can divide by 5, then we can come up with the each interior angle, right? That is 108 degree. Then now let's focus on the hexagon. Then the total is 720. Then we can equally divide the total between 6 angles. That's why we can have a 120 degree. So one of the interior angle of regular hexagon is 120. Then octagon is, we know that is 1080 is the sum of the interior angles, and divided by the number of the shape, that is 8-sided shape. So now we can see that 8 equal angles, and each angle, each interior angle will be 135 degree. Decagon has got 1440 divided by how many angles? There are 10 equal angles. That's why we know that one of the interior angle is 144. So let's come up with our formula. So how can you come up with the formula? So N shape, the sum of the interior angle is N minus 2, loss of 180. Then all you need to do is divide by number of the angles. So we know that N shape has got N loss of angles, right? So this is the formula for the finding the each interior angle of polygon. Then now let's move on to the exterior angles. Now first of all, sum of the exterior angles of polygon. Then let's begin with our triangle, because we are very familiar with the triangle. We all know that the equilateral triangle has got 60 interior angle. The outside of angle is a 120. So we know that the interior angles and exterior angle, they are the supplementary angle. So that's why it's 120. So we can see 3 lots of 120. So sum of the exterior angle is 360. How about square? Well, we can see 4 lots of 90. 90 is exterior angle. Then the sum of the exterior angle is still 360. How about the pentagon? So now let's extend the lines to find our exterior angle, right? Then that way we can see the supplementary angles, right? That now we already know that interior angle of pentagon is 108, right? Then now what's your exterior angle? Exterior angle will be 72, right? So we write down 72 everywhere. Then now how many is 72? How many lots of exterior angle can you see in the pentagon? We know that there are 5 lots of 72 is 360 degree, right? Then what did you notice? We can see the pattern, right? It's all 360. Then let's double check with the hexagon. Hexagon, you remember that one of the interior angle? Hexagon is 120, right? Then now your exterior angle will be 60, right? So hexagonal 좋아. You've got a 6 lots of 60. That gives you 360 as well. Then now, what we found from the previous activity, that we all know that regardless of the number of the sides, all the polygons, sum of the exterior angle is always 360, right? So let's writing down this information in the table. It's all 360. Then, now what we're going to do is we are looking for the each interior angle of regular polygons. So now think about it. It's regular. When it comes to the regular polygons, exterior angles will be the same as well. That's why we can divide the 360 by 5. So that is 72 degrees. Then hexagon, you divide by 6. So one of the exterior angle will be 60. Then you divide by 8. Then each exterior angle for the octagon is 45. Divide by 10. Then we know there's a 36. Then now let's come up with our formula. N shape. Each exterior angle is the sum of the exterior angle is 360. Then divided by n is the formula for the each exterior angles. So now let's summarize what we learned so far. So pause the video and then try to think of the formulas for each questions. Can you remember everything? So each way you can remember is sum of the interior angle. Always think about the triangle. How many triangle inside the polygon? Then the number of a triangle is n-2. There's always n-2 lots of triangles inside. Then one of the triangle is 180. That's why we can come up with n-2 lots of times 180. Now sum of the exterior angle is easy because it's all the time it's the same. That is just 360. Each interior angles and each exterior angle is always about the regular polygon, not the irregular one. So now then each interior angle is 360 divided by n because you've got an n lots of same exterior angles, and each interior angle you can find the two ways using the supplementary angle, or so if you use the sum of the interior angle n-2 times 180, then you can divide it by number of angles because it's all equal size of angle. Then now use the supplementary angle. So 180 take away exterior angle, right? So 180 take away, if you know the exterior angle, that is 360 divided by n. So these are the very important four formulas regarding the interior angle and exterior angles. What we're going to do is using all four formulas, let's find out the simple questions. So first of all, we've got regular pentagon. So regular pentagon, then you've got one over the angle here. So what can you remember? To find the regular pentagon, then we need to find out the one over the interior angle, right? So how can you find each interior angle of the regular pentagon? First of all, we need to know about the sum of the interior angle. So you remember triangle, how many triangle? n-2, that's a 3 triangle, and then 180, that gives you 540, right? Then now we need to find each interior angle. Then all you need to do is divide by 5, 108. Then now that we know that 2x plus 10 equals 108. Then 2x equals 98. Then x is, we can say x is 49 degrees. So our answer is 49 degrees. Then now let's move on to the next one. Then we can see what is the shape. It's triangle, that it looks like it's not the regular triangle, but luckily we know that one of the exterior angle. Then let's use this information because exterior angle and interior angle, they are supplementary angle. That's why we can find the one of the interior angle, that is 70, right? Then now, this is an irregular triangle, that's why we can't say all of the angles are the same. So let's find the sum of the triangle is 180. So if we add up all the angles inside the triangle, then it gives you 180. Then now 3x plus 75 gives you 180. 3x is 105. So your x is 35 degrees. So your x is 35. Then next question, we've got regular hexagon. Then the 5x is one of the exterior angle of the hexagon, right? So let's focus on this exterior angle of the hexagon. That we know that we need to find the sum of the exterior angle. That is already 360. Then now we need to divide it by 6 because we've got 6 equal exterior angles. Then it's 60, right? So we know that each exterior angle of a hexagon is 60. Then now we can quickly find our 5x. So 5x is 60, so x is 12 degrees. Okay, so this is the end of the video that we've been talking about the 4 important formulas linking to the interior and exterior angles of the polygon, right? So sum of the interior angle is, always think about the number of triangles, right? So n minus 2 times 180, and then each interior angle of the regular polygon is n minus 2 times 180 divided by n, because you've got n lots of equal angles. Now exterior angle, so sum of the exterior angle is always the same regardless of the number of the sides, right? It's always 360. That's why each exterior angle of the regular polygon is 360 divided by n. So I want you to remember all of these formulas, because once you understand how these formulas are formed, then all you need to do is remember and memorize, okay? So I will see you next lesson. Bye!